Hello, and welcome to Oak Hills High School Open House 2020 style. Hey parents, by the fact you're doing this virtually, it means that you don't have to navigate all the one-way hallways like your child has to do. So count that as a blessing. I am Mrs. Vanderwaaij, and I am your child's organic chemistry teacher. A little bit about myself. I graduated from Purdue University way back when, I won't tell you when, with a degree in chemistry. So yes, I took the full college organic chemistry courses, all right, the 2 semesters. So I do have some experience about what I'm talking about here, so rest assured. I've taught 28 years total, 25 at Oak Hills, actually 2 in South Carolina and 1 in Indiana. So what does this mean? The fact that it's been 25 years since I started, I could have some of you parents as my students. If that's the case, then I'm really sorry that we aren't able to meet face to face and catch up. I'd love to hear how you're doing. Oops, skip that one. Here we go. So I use the remind feature to give your child notifications and like this is due tomorrow, don't forget we have a test tomorrow, that kind of thing. If you'd like to sign up, it's voluntary. Please be my guest, and here's the information needed. Now, a good news about organic, I don't give a lot of homework, it's mostly classwork. With this virtual and with this blended learning, things are going to be a little bit different than what I'm used to, but if we can go back full access, you know, everyone comes to class every day, there won't be a lot of homework. And that's what I'm really hoping for. I bet your child is too. As far as supplies go, please bring the blue binder to class every day. So your child was given this blue binder on the first day of school, and it has every single handout for the first quarter. And I did that so that if we do go remote, heaven forbid, if your student or your child is quarantined, or even if I am quarantined, they have everything they need for first quarter. I already have second quarter ready to go as well. So please bring that to class every day. Your writing materials, please know we cannot share writing materials. So if your child forgets a pen or pencil, I cannot help them. They cannot ask their classmate if they can borrow a pen or pencil. So make sure that they have everything they need before they walk out of the door. A word about masks real quick. Please talk to your child about wearing their masks and wearing them appropriately. I'll just say this, I am a high risk person here. I have an autoimmune disease, so I will be insisting that they wear their masks at all times, okay? If they'd like to bring their own hand sanitizers, I would recommend that. However, I do have a jar of hand sanitizer for student use in my classroom. I also have organic Fifth Bell right before lunch, and I've already told all students that they can just go into lab real quick and use soap and water to wash their hands before going to lunch every day. So that is always an option as well. And I highly recommend that too, okay? Trying to keep your child safe. I do have a flipped classroom set up already. I don't really want to use it as much for organic. So if we are going full access, that means I see all my students every day. I probably won't flip it as much because I'd rather do it in person with them, all right, with organic. But if right now we're in blended and if we go full remote, then I will flip the classroom. All their notes will be found in Google Classroom through the Ed Puzzle feature, so I can see who's watched it, how long it took. And then there's a couple questions embedded to make sure they truly understand the material. And I can see the answers to those questions, and that can be a talking point or something I can go back and readdress, okay? And then the idea behind the flipped classroom is we go over problems and practice in class. So for these first 2 weeks that we are blended, that is my goal. They watch the flipped videos at home, and then while I see them for the 2 days for that week, then we'll be practicing in class, okay? All right, so let's talk a little bit about Google Classroom and the benefits about that. Now, I don't know how fourth quarter last year went with your child, but I heard that some parents and students were very frustrated because different teachers had different learning management tools. They have asked us all to use Google Classroom as a way to access all your information. So I thought I'd use a little bit of time, won't take me very long, to go through some slides so that your child may learn maybe a few more features about Google Classroom and you too as a parent. So Google Classroom is a one site for all materials needed, for finding all your assignments, for viewing all the work turned in, and more importantly, maybe what's still missing. Check, there's a Google Calendar feature with due dates, and it can be a communication tool between your child and me. Now, email is certainly viable, as is the Remind tool, but this is yet another way that we can communicate. First of all, the stream page, this is my AP chemistry one. The organic will look just like it. Here's where I put all of my announcements and any new material that I have posted to quickly see, all right, what's new in here, okay? I think this next page is the most important page. It is the classwork page. So you see up at the top, classwork. All the classwork is posted, due dates are located here. Something else I want you to know, if you actually look at the organic classwork page, I did this kind of early on, there is the first topic is actually called daily PowerPoints. And especially during these first couple weeks of remote, or blended, I should say, I would be checking that daily PowerPoint to know what you should be doing each day, because after all, we do have to take attendance. So even though I don't see your child for half the week, all right, I do quote take attendance, and that's if they complete these different assignments, okay? So that daily PowerPoint, you can see what you're doing on Monday with detail, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. So that I think is a very important thing I put in there at the very top of the classwork page. Also, if you click on a certain assignment, it'll give you a little bit more details of what the assignment is doing here, if there's any attachments, any due dates. Now, these are for me, the teacher. I can see who all turned in and how many have not turned it in yet. I can subtract, and then I can actually see down here myself on who exactly has turned it in. But that's a feature for me, okay? Next is a very important tab within the classwork. It says view your work, okay? And here, if you click on it, you can see everything that I've assigned. So you can see what's assigned, what you've turned in, and what's still missing, all right? So for me, there is no more excuses as I didn't know what was due, all right? So you might want to, as a parent, check these features out so you know what's coming up, and you can help your child maybe plan out, their time a little better if that's an issue. Now, my guess is that they're in organic chemistry. They're probably pretty organized already if they want to take organic chemistry, but that's just for, another feature of Google Classroom. Okay. I think this is just for teachers. I can see who's in here as teachers, maybe a co-teacher, and who my students are. I don't know if students can see this as well. All right, but something else you can see is when you look at those three little lines next to the course name, that's going to be a really important feature as well. And that's your calendar. So click on your calendar and you can see 1 week at a time what is due. Now, I believe, I could be wrong, but I believe anyone who your child has that uses Google Classroom, all their assignments pop up on one page. I'm hoping that some of my students will let me know if that's true or not. Okay, I don't see a student aspect on this. Student comments, this is another communication tool. On the stream page, on that first page, they can leave comments. However, due to some inappropriate comments that I received during fourth quarter, I turned that feature off. However, on the next one, when you assign an assignment, when you turn it in, you can add private comments. So you can let me know if you're having trouble with number 5, something like that, where you really don't understand what you're supposed to do. And this will be a private conversation that I can reply back and have that running conversation about this particular work, all right? So there is still a dialogue. Finally, if you want more information, go ahead and Google about Google Classroom. I picked this one video that might be helpful as a student and as a parent on all the different features of Google Classroom. So I hope this was helpful. I got a little bit idea about me, about the class, and how this Google Classroom can be helpful to both you and your child. So thanks for watching. Have a great year.